I'm going to do a quick demonstration on how to use Google Docs to format your screenplay, as well as how to share your document and comment on your peers' documents. So the first thing you do after you open up a Google Doc is to always make sure you give it a name. So up here in the top left-hand corner, it'll probably say Untitled. Go ahead and click in there, give it a unique name. A lot of times my suggestion is to just give it the name of your screenplay. If you don't have a title yet, just put something in there as a placeholder, because otherwise you'll end up with a lot of documents called Untitled. Okay, and the next thing we need to do is we need to activate the Screenplay Formatter. So the way to do that is we go to this main menu, we click on Add-ons, we go to Screenplay Formatter. Now I already have it installed, so I can click Launch. If you don't already have it installed in your browser, it's really simple to do. Just click Install. It's a free extension that just goes straight into the browser itself. And then once you've done that, you can launch it. Launching it just brings up the Screenplay Formatter on the right-hand side. Now I've already got some text in here that we're going to start working with. Some people like to just type everything out and not worry about the formatting until after they're done. Some people like to format as they go. Totally up to you. I'm going to show you both ways just so you can get an idea of how it works. But regardless, the very first thing you do is you click the blue button over here in the Screenplay Formatter that says Set Screenplay Margins and Font. And that automatically sets the margins for you, and then you'll also notice that it changes the font to the correct Courier New size 12. So the first thing you do whenever you start a screenplay is you begin with the transition Fade In. So we're going to come over here to the Formatter, and under Transitions, we're going to click Fade In. And immediately you'll see that Google has put in Fade In all caps with a colon for us. Now the next thing you do is you need to put a slug line in. Slug lines are called header in the Screenplay Formatter. So I'm going to click Header. And what's nice about it is it pops up with this little window and it gives you the format that you're supposed to follow. So you always start with either INT or EXT, which means interior or exterior. Sometimes it looks exactly like it's written there, interior/exterior or exterior/interior. That's for like a special situation. Say you've got somebody who's inside a car and another person's outside of the car and they're talking to each other, or inside a house and outside of a house. And so you're kind of swapping back and forth. But in this case, we're just going to do interior. And I'm going to say classroom, because that's the location. And then you give the time of day. You can be as specific as you'd like with time of day. Most people stick with morning, noon, evening, afternoon, that sort of thing. Some people are really specific and they'll say 2:26 p.m. Another thing you can do is if you have a scene that comes right after another one and the action's supposed to happen pretty immediately after, you can write something like minutes later or an hour later. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my information for my slug line here. And you'll notice that even though I wrote most of it in lowercase, it's appropriately capitalized up here. So my next line of text is my action. I can click the action button, but it's not really going to do anything because the action margins are the width of the document. And so there's not much to change there. However, Professor is a character that's mentioned for the first time in the screenplay in this action. And so we need to make sure that we go over here to Special Formatting and we click New Character. And the reason why we do that is because whenever you have a character introduced for the first time in the action of your script, you want to make sure that their name is in all caps. So we've done that. And now we're going to get down here to some of the character names in the dialogue. So I've got a character name here, Professor, already. If I come over to the Formatter and I click Speaker, it's going to convert it to the correct formatting for character. And then underneath that, I'll do the same. I'll highlight the dialogue and then click Dialogue. And I can highlight Student A and choose Speaker. And then smirking's a parenthetical, which is just a little side instruction for your actor. We try to use these sparingly, but where they're necessary, you can go ahead and put them in. And so I'm going to go and choose parentheses over here for the correct formatting. I've got a little more dialogue, and then again we're back to plain old action. Now if I wanted to add another scene, I can do that. The one thing that's a little bit lame about Google Docs and their screenplay formatting is I have to hit hard returns to get the appropriate spacing. So you do have to do that on your own. I'm going to go ahead and click Header again because I'm going to go to a new scene. And next time I'll do Exterior. And we'll do Afternoon. and create my header. And so this is more how you would do it if you wanted to do it as you're writing. Once we've done that, we're going to make sure she is put in as speaker. Okay. And we're going to give her some dialogue. Hit return. And maybe now we'll do some action. And much like when you're using Google Docs in general, say I realize I want to actually put this up earlier, I can get rid of it, copy it, and then I can actually hit return twice here and paste it in and just throw it up where it needs to go. So it's pretty easy to move around. Now when you're finishing your screenplay, every screenplay ends with the same thing, and that is to write a line. And we want to make sure we're in action so that it's in the correct formatting. So you click the action button and then you just type in fade to black, all caps with a period. So those are the basics for formatting. Now to actually share it with us, you go to the upper right hand corner here and you click share. And right now my sharing settings are already set to what they need to be. Yours may or may not be. So we're going to choose get link and you're going to click the change button. And what you want to make sure is that you have right here, anyone with link is chosen, not restricted, but anyone with link. And then you want to make sure you've chosen commenter. You don't want editor because that means people can actually change it on you. You don't want viewer because then they can't comment and leave you some feedback. You just want commenter. Click copy link. Once the link is copied, you go ahead and click done, go back into Blackboard, and you can paste the link into the assignment. Once one of us clicks on the link, whether it be me or your classmate, you're going to go ahead and we're going to see this screen. And what we'll be able to do is highlight text and then come over here and click to add a comment. We can say whatever we need to. Okay, so I want to be more descriptive here, and I click comment. And then what you'll see on your end is a little comment like this, which you can then reply to. Or you can click the blue check mark to show that it's resolved and it gets rid of it. So when you click that check mark, it takes the comment out. So this is a really great tool for going through and giving constructive feedback. The things you should be noticing are any kind of errors in the formatting. You can point those out, but really helping people to be more descriptive in their writing. If there's something you don't understand, if you have an idea that you think might work, maybe the writer is stuck and you want to try and give some solutions for that, you can do that as well. But it's a nice tool because you can go back and forth, and if I make a comment and you're not quite sure what I mean, you can reply right to it, and that'll give me a notification that you've replied, and I can go back in and answer your question. So those are the basics. If you aren't sure how to format something in particular and it's not something I've already covered, that's where your Elements of Style for Screenwriters book comes in, because that really has all the answers for you. All right. And it's not completely hard and fast. You'll notice that some screenplays look different than others. And as we get into TV writing, you'll notice those scripts look different as well. But these are the basics, and these are the ones you need to master to show people that you do understand how screenplays work and how they should be written out.